I never thought I'd end up matching with a vampire. Or at least, that's what she called herself in her bio. It was a Friday night, the kind that feels too quiet. My roommate was out, my fridge was empty, and my ego was bruised after my last breakup. So I did what any modern idiot does when loneliness kicks in. I downloaded a dating app. Her profile popped up. Third swipe in. Lilith, 25. No reflection. Still worth a look, with a winking emoji. I laughed. A goth girl with humor. Perfect. She had pale skin, jet black hair, eyes so sharp they looked edited. Every photo looked like it was taken under candlelight. Creepy. Yeah. But also, somehow hot. I swiped right. Instant match, she messaged first. Do you like staying up late? Yeah, I typed. I'm more of a night guy. Good. I hate mornings. I thought she was just playing along with her vampire gimmick, so I joked back. Guess I'll cancel our picnic idea then. Maybe dinner instead. My place. That should have been the first red flag. But loneliness makes you blind, and her profile picture made me dumber. We chatted for an hour. Nothing deep. Just flirty banter. She told me she was into old-fashioned things and drank only organic. I assumed she meant wine. By midnight, she sent me an address. Downtown, near the old district where every building looks haunted, even when it's not. I hesitated but told myself, it's just a girl. Worst case, it's awkward. Best case, well, I left my apartment around 12:30. The streets were dead quiet. Only the hum of a distant streetlight and the faint echo of my sneakers. The closer I got, the darker it felt, like every block was dimmer than the last. When I reached her building, I almost turned back. It wasn't an apartment complex. It was one of those old 3-story houses squeezed between modern cafes. The windows were blacked out, and an old iron gate creaked as I pushed it open. No buzzers, no cameras, just a brass knocker shaped like a snake eating its tail. I lifted it and knocked twice. The door opened before I could drop it. Lilith stood there, barefoot, wearing a long black dress. Her smile was small, but somehow unsettling. Too still. Too symmetrical. "Eh," I said, forcing a grin. "Nice place." She tilted her head, studying me. "Jew came." "Yeah, well, you invited me." She stepped aside and gestured for me to enter. Most don't. Inside smelled like dust, melted wax, and something metallic. Maybe old pipes, maybe something else. Dozens of candles lined the hallway, flickering shadows across the walls. "You throw a party or something?" I joked. "Just ambience," she said. Electricity feels unnatural. We sat in her living room, which looked like a museum curated by a vampire. Heavy curtains, antique chairs, portraits of people who definitely didn't smile. "So, Lilith," I said, trying to sound confident, "how long have you been on the app?" She laughed quietly. "A very long time." I chuckled back. "Like a year." "2." She looked me dead in the eyes. "Longer." It wasn't playful. It was calm, flat, like she was just stating a fact. I thought maybe she was a theater student or something, really committed to her vampire bit, so I leaned in, smirking. "Then I'm honored to be your latest victim." "Not victim," she said softly. "Guest." Her voice had that slow rhythm. "People use when they know you're already hooked." And I was half amused, half uneasy. She poured wine into 2 glasses. It was dark, so dark it looked almost black. "Imported?" I asked. She smiled. "Locally sourced." I took a sip. It tasted metallic, thick. My throat tightened. What vintage is this?" She watched me drink, eyes unblinking. "Fresh," I coughed, half laughing. "You're really into this vampire thing, huh?" Instead of answering, she stood up and walked to a nearby cabinet. She opened a drawer and took out a small mirror, the only reflective surface in the room. She held it toward me. "Hold this," she said. "Okay, why?" "Humor me." I held the mirror. The candlelight bounced off it, flickering my reflection. "See?" I said, I'm human. She stepped beside me and leaned closer. I noticed her skin, flawless, too smooth, like wax. Do you see me? She asked. I glanced at the mirror, only my reflection. The space beside me was empty. My hand trembled. I turned to her, half laughing. Okay, nice trick. Where's the projector? No answer. Her eyes stayed locked on mine. For a second, everything went silent. The ticking clock, the creak of the floorboards. It felt like time paused. Then, as if nothing happened, she smiled again. Want to see the balcony? Say, ask it. My gut screamed no, but my curiosity whispered just 5 more minutes. We stepped out. The city looked distant from up there, as if we were outside time. Wind brushed her hair, but the candle flames inside didn't flicker at all. So, I said nervously, "Are you always this mysterious, or am I getting this special Halloween edition?" She grinned, showing teeth just a little too sharp. You'd be surprised how boring immortality gets. I tried to laugh, but my voice cracked. You're really committing to this vampire thing. She leaned close, whispering near my ear. What if it's not a thing? Her breath was cold, unnaturally cold. I stepped back. Okay, you're really good at this. Like, movie good. Maybe I've had practice, she said. I checked my phone, pretending to get a message. No signal. Of course. Look, it's late, I said. I should head out. She smiled politely. You haven't finished your drink? I'll take a rain check. She stepped in front of the door. Just one more sip. My heart thumped. The joking tone was gone. Her eyes had that strange glint, like a cat's under headlights. I didn't know if I was in a prank, a cult, or an actual horror movie. She reached out and touched my wrist. Her hand was ice. Your pulse, she whispered. It's fast. I yanked my arm back. Okay, I'm done playing. She didn't move, didn't blink. Then slowly, she started to laugh. Not loud, not forced. Just this low, melodic sound that filled the room. I like you, she said. Most run before dessert. I didn't wait to find out what desert meant. I bolted. The door slammed behind me, though I never touched it. I sprinted down the hallway, the candles flickering wildly now. I swear I heard footsteps behind me. But when I turned, no one was there. I burst into the street, breathing hard. The sky was beginning to gray, dawn creeping up. I turned back at the house. The windows were open, curtains fluttering, no candles, no light. Just silence. I didn't stop running until I reached my apartment. Locked the door, shut the blinds, collapsed on the couch. It took me an hour to convince myself it was all a setup. A Halloween prank, maybe filmed for YouTube. But then I noticed something on my wrist where she'd touched me. A faint red mark shaped like lips. I didn't sleep that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw her face framed in candlelight, her pupils swallowing everything. My brain tried to label it. Maybe she was a magician. Maybe I was drugged. But none of the explanations felt heavy enough to match what I'd seen. By sunrise, the mark on my wrist had turned a light purple, like an old bruise. I wrapped it with a band-aid and told myself to forget it. I even deleted the dating app. Out of sight, out of mind. That worked for exactly 4 hours. At 10 in the morning, I got an email from Lilith@bloodmail.com. Subject line, you left too soon. Inside was just one line, dinner's better when you stay for dessert. I almost laughed. Maybe she was trolling me for leaving her house. Maybe this was just a very elaborate prank. Either way, I decided not to answer. Around noon, my friend Kyle dropped by. He's the kind of guy who thinks everything is content. I told him the story while he raided my fridge. Dude, he said, mouthful of cereal. You got catfished by a theater major. Congrats. Yeah, but she disappeared from the mirror, man. He smirked. So did my self-esteem after college. Mirrors. Yeah, I wanted to believe him. The laughter held for about 10 minutes. Then my phone buzzed again. A text, this time, unknown number. Still nocturnal. I showed it to Kyle. He raised an eyebrow. You didn't give her your number? No. He shrugged. Creepy. Block it. I did. Or at least, I thought I did. That night, I tried to distract myself. Movie. Lights on. Pizza box. Open. Halfway through Shaun of the Dead. Yeah, irony. The power went out. The apartment dropped into silence except for the hum of the refrigerator dying. My phone flashlight barely cut the darkness. I checked the hallway. My roommate still hadn't returned. Then I noticed something on the inside of my front door. A small envelope taped dead center. No footprints, no sound. Just there. My name was written in perfect cursive. I tore it open with shaking fingers. Sunrise doesn't save you. Signed L. No return address. No anything. My brain split in two. One half terrified. The other trying to find the joke. Maybe Kyle's pranking me, I thought. But Kyle couldn't draw a straight line, let alone write calligraphy. I checked the peephole. The hallway was empty. Then, faintly, I heard a click, like a lighter being flicked. I turned toward the kitchen window. Across the street, on the rooftop of the opposite building, someone was standing. Long dress, hair moving in the wind, barely illuminated by the orange streetlight. It was too far to see her face, but the silhouette felt familiar. I blinked, and she was gone. I shut the blinds, locked every door twice, and slept with a baseball bat beside my bed. Over the next few days, weird things started happening. Nothing dramatic, just small cracks in normal life. My bathroom mirror fogged up, even when I hadn't showered. I'd wipe it clean, and faint words appeared, like condensation forming letters. The first message, thirsty yet. The second, invite me in. That one hit harder, because of the rule. Every vampire story says they can't enter unless invited. I laughed nervously, took a picture for proof, but the letters didn't show in the photo, just a clean mirror. My rationale side said condensation patterns, stress, coincidence. My gut said run. On the fourth night, Kyle insisted we hit the bar. Dude, daylight's your friend, he joked. Let's reset your brain with tequila. By the time we stumbled back to my place, it was close to 1 a.m. We were tipsy enough to laugh at everything. Then Kyle froze near my door. Bruh, he whispered. Why is there dirt all over your welcome mat? Like fresh dirt? There was dark soil, scattered like footprints leading away from the door, not toward it. I brushed it off. Maybe delivery guy dropped something. Kyle didn't buy it, but after one more drink, he passed out on the couch. At 3 a.m, I woke up to a faint humming, low, rhythmic, like someone singing from another room. I thought it was Kyle snoring, but the sound was coming from the window. The humming turned into words, soft and playful. Do you still like staying up late? I froze, slowly turned my head. Through the narrow gap of the blinds, 2 pale eyes glowed back. I leapt off the bed, heart slamming against my ribs. Kyle sat up, groggy. What the hell, man? She's here, I hissed. Don't open anything. But Kyle, half asleep and brave from alcohol, went straight to the window. Who's she? He yanked the blinds open. Nothing. Just empty streetlight. He looked at me, smirking. You sure you're not crushing on a raccoon? Before I could answer, his expression changed. The humor drained from his face. Wait, he whispered. What's that? I followed his gaze. Across the glass, fine smudges, 2 handprints, perfectly symmetrical, like someone had pressed their palms against the outside of the window. But we lived on the 3rd floor. Kyle stumbled back. Bro, I'm sleeping in my car. I didn't argue. We both grabbed our keys, but when we reached the hallway, the elevator panel flickered, every floor button lighting up at once. Then the doors opened by themselves. Empty shaft, no sound. Kyle muttered, "Stairs it is." We bolted down 3 flights, burst into the parking lot, and found his car coated with the same dark dirt from my doorstep. Fresh, wet, like it had just been dug from a grave. He looked at me, pale. "This is your ghost, dude, not mine." "Vampire," I corrected without thinking. "Yeah, whatever. I'm out." He drove off, tires screeching. I didn't blame him. I went back upstairs because I had nowhere else to go. I triple-locked the door and sat on the couch till sunrise, scrolling the web. Search, how to break a vampire curse. Results, nonsense. Blogs, ancient folklore. One Reddit thread that said, "Don't engage, don't answer, and whatever you do, don't invite them twice." I laughed out loud, partly hysterical. Invite them twice? I hadn't even invited her once. That's when I noticed something. The old wine glass on my kitchen counter. I hadn't brought it home, but it was there, half full of dark liquid. My name was written on the rim in red lipstick. I threw it into the sink. It shattered. The clock struck 7. Sunlight leaked through the curtains. I thought I'd finally made it through the night. Then my phone buzzed again. A voice message. I pressed play. At first, silence. Then, faintly, breathing, a woman whispering, close to the mic. "Don't worry, you already invited me. When you said come in, remember?" My heart dropped. I had said it. That first night, when she'd opened the door and stepped aside. I'd joked, "Guess I'll come in then." I had invited myself. I didn't remember hitting send, but I replied with trembling thumbs. "What do you want?" Her answer came seconds later. "Company." I called the police that afternoon, told them someone was stalking me, breaking in, leaving notes. They checked the apartment, took a report, found nothing. No fingerprints, no footprints, not even the dirt. One of them suggested I get more sleep. The officer left, and I locked the door behind him. For a while, it was calm again. The next 2 nights passed without incident. I started to think maybe I'd hallucinated half of it, until I noticed the smell. A faint iron scent, drifting from the hallway, like pennies soaked in water. I followed it to the front door. Another envelope was taped there, identical handwriting. Inside, a photo. Me, sleeping in my bed, taken from the foot of it. That broke me. I grabbed my things, wallet, keys, one duffel bag, and checked into a cheap motel on the edge of town. The clerk, an old woman with half her teeth missing, didn't even look up when I asked for a room facing east. I figured, more sunlight, safer vibes. That night, I kept every light on. The TV played old sitcom reruns. Laugh tracks filled the room. Fake laughter felt better than silence. Around 2 in the morning, I must have dozed off because I woke to static. The TV screen was pure snow. A figure flickered for half a second. Long hair, pale face. But when I blinked, it was gone. Unknown number. Nice place. The curtains are ugly. I dropped the phone, ran to the window. The curtains were still swaying slightly, as if someone had just touched them. That's when something inside me snapped. Fear turned into this strange, angry calm. I opened the mini fridge, grabbed a tiny vodka bottle, and muttered to no one. "Okay, Lilith. You want company? Let's talk." I sat on the bed, faced the mirror opposite the window, and waited. Minutes crawled by. Nothing. Then, slowly, the reflection in the mirror shifted. The room stayed the same. Bud baned me in the reflection. A woman stood near the door. Still, watching. I turned. Empty room. When I faced the mirror again, she was closer, and smiling. 4. I don't remember much after that. Just the sound of glass cracking and my own voice yelling, "What do you want from me?" Her voice answered from everywhere, layered and echoing. "You swept right. Now you belong to the night." I woke up on the floor at dawn. The mirror was shattered, the room freezing cold, but there was one last thing on the bed. My phone, screen cracked, showing a new profile notification. Lilith liked you again. I didn't go home after that night. I couldn't. Even daylight felt fragile now, like a fake ceiling that could collapse any time. I spent 2 days sleeping in my car, half parked under a gas station sign that buzzed all night. The clerk inside must have thought I was homeless. Maybe I was, at least spiritually. The first full night back in my own skin, I tried to act normal. Showered in a gym locker room, shaved, stared at myself until my reflection looked like a stranger. I wasn't sure if the bruises on my wrist were getting lighter or darker. They almost looked like fingerprints now. Around noon, my phone buzzed again. A different notification this time, from a brand new dating app I didn't remember installing. Its name glowed blood red on the screen. Noctira, a single fang mark. I swear, I hadn't downloaded it. Still, a part of me. The same reckless curiosity that made me swipe right that first night. Tapped open the app. The profile photos on top made my stomach drop. Lilith. Same face, same half smile, but the location said 0.1 miles away. I threw the phone across the car. It hit the passenger door, bounced onto the floor, and started ringing. Her name appeared on the caller ID, even though I'd deleted her contact days ago. I didn't answer. Then, a text appeared. You can't ghost a ghost. That, even Inga. I went to the police again. Different precinct. Same blank stares. They humored me. Checked the serial on my phone. Said there was no such app installed. I showed them the logo. It vanished the moment I handed it over. They gave me the kind of smile people use with toddlers after nightmares. So I did what any idiot with internet access would do. I posted this story online. A long Reddit thread titled, "Met a girl on a vampire dating app. Now I'm cursed." I figured someone would laugh, call me Cressy, and they did. Thousands of comments, memes, jokes, garlic emojis. But one reply stood out, from a user named blood_lore97. She's real. Don't delete the app. If you do, she takes you offline permanently. I didn't sleep that night either. The next day, my phone battery refused to die. 2%, 1%, still running. The screen glowed faintly no matter how long I left it. And every few hours, the app would ping. New match. New match. Always the same photo. Her. Sometimes her eyes looked slightly different, like the image was alive. By the third night, exhaustion won. I crashed in the backseat of my car and dreamed of her house. The candles, the smell of wine, the way she'd said my name like it was a flavor. When you woke up, my phone lay on my chest, camera facing me. The front screen showed a live video of me sleeping. The angle wasn't from the phone, it was from outside the car. Someone was streaming me. I sat up fast, hit the lock, and looked around. Empty lot, empty street, rising sun. But in the distance, just before the light swallowed everything, I saw her figure standing by the tree line. She wasn't hiding anymore. I decided to fight back. Not in some Hollywood way. No wooden stakes or silver crosses. I just wanted answers. So that night I went back to her house. Or at least, where her house had been. Because when I reached the address, it wasn't there. The lot was empty. No walls, no mailbox. Just cracked foundation covered with weeds. It looked like it had been demolished years ago. I stood there, heart hammering, when an old man came out of the house next door, holding a flashlight. Looking for something? He asked. Yeah, the house that used to be here. Number 42. He frowned. Kid. That place burned down 15 years ago. Some actress lived there, died in the fire. Actress? I asked. Yeah. Played vampires in those old horror flicks. Real name was Lillian something. Folks said she went crazy. Used to bring men home from the city, then they'd disappear. After the fire, nobody claimed the body. He paused, then gave me a once-over. You look pale, son. You should go. I did. but not before I took one photo of the cracked steps leading to nothing. When I looked at the picture later, she was standing there. Same dress, same eyes, smiling. That's when I realized this wasn't about a house or an app. She wasn't haunting a place, she was haunting me. The following week, blurred together, every reflective surface showed her shadow behind mine. Mirrors, windows, even puddles. If I turned fast enough, she vanished. If I blinked, she smiled. I tried to delete my phone, smash it, factory reset it. Every time I turned it back on, Noctura reappeared. The tagline under her photo had changed. Final day confirmed. Friday night. Dressed nicely. I didn't plan to show up, but Friday came anyway. That night, every light in my apartment flickered out at once. I didn't even bother panicking anymore. Fear had turned into this numb, dizzy calm, like being too tired to feel cold. Then the knock came. 3 soft taps on the door, not forceful. Polite. "Go away," I said, voice barely steady. The silence after that was worse than any noise. Then, another knock. Same rhythm, this time from the inside wall behind me. I turned slowly. The drywall bulged, cracked, like something pushing through. A hand, pale, bloodless, slid out first, then a face followed, stretching through the wall like mist, solidifying into flesh. She looked exactly as I remembered. Beautiful. Wrong. The kind of beauty that exists to make you feel small. "Why me?" I whispered. She smiled. "Because you laughed." I didn't understand. "That first night," she said softly, "you laughed when you saw the fangs. Everyone screams. You didn't. You wanted to believe it was a joke. That's what I like about you. You make death fun again." She stepped closer. I backed up until my shoulders hit the kitchen counter. "I don't want this," I said. "But you already chose it." She tilted her head, eyes glowing faintly. "Every swipe is a promise." Her breath smelled like roses and rust. She reached out, traced the bruise on my wrist with a cold fingertip. "Don't worry," she whispered. "It only hurts for a moment." The lights flickered once more, and everything went black. When you woke up, it was morning. Sunlight filled the apartment. Everything looked normal. No cracks in the wall, no dirt on the floor. My wrist was clean. My phone sat on the table, screen dark. For a second, I thought maybe I'd finally escaped it. I even laughed, shaky but real. Then the phone buzzed. New notification. "Congratulations. Your profile has been verified." I tapped it. The app opened by itself. My photo was on the screen, but my skin looked pale. A's dull gray lips faintly red. Under my name, the tagline read, "Searching for someone who believes in happy endings. Last seen, sunrise." I haven't seen Lilith since, but sometimes, at 3 in the morning, my phone vibrates. A new match. Always someone nearby. Always someone who swiped right. If you ever get an invite from Noctura, don't open it. Don't laugh. And for God's sake, don't say "come in." Because I did, and now, every reflection smiles back.